Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boys from Reactions here. My name's Logan.
And my name's Francesco.
And in today's video,
we're going to be discussing 2022 Apple predictions. I have a whole slideshow dedicated to all the predictions, and I've updated it today. So as tweets come out, I've been updating it. So it's completely up to date to the most recent rumors, and we're going to be discussing exactly what you can expect from Apple in 2022
right now
and beyond. Let's get ready into this. So basically, if you want to see the slideshow, you can check it out. It'll be the link in the description or on my website under the What's New section. And let's go right into this. So first, we're going to be talking about what to expect in the first half of 2022. So Apple's working on a 27-inch iMac that will be sold alongside the 24-inch model. This iMac could be called the iMac Pro. It is expected to feature a Pro Display XDR design, a 27-inch mini LED display with ProMotion technology, and M1 Pro or Max M1 Max chips. Rumors suggest it will launch in the spring of 2022, which means probably at their March Apple event. And this is what it's rumored to look like, basically off the M1 iMac, but like dark, space gray, more powerful.
What? What is this? It's not even any different. What is it different? What is
That's the one I have, but in blue. It's supposed to be bigger and more powerful. That's it.
Wow, bigger and more powerful. Just, you want to know how to make things new and then sell it and then be sold out? Just make it a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this, and then there we go. That's the new Apple iPad Pro.
Next, we have Mac Mini. So they're developing a high-end version of the Mac Mini, which will feature additional ports, a more powerful Apple Silicon chip. It will include an improved version of the M1 chip, possibly an M2 chip, with a 10-core CPU that has 8 high-performance cores and 2 efficiency cores, plus 16 or 32-core GPU options. That is really high. Apple Silicon chip will support up to 64 gigs of RAM, 4 Thunderbolt ports, and it's looking like the release will be in the spring of 2022, which means, again, their March Apple event. This is expected to be unveiled. So this is completely redesigned. The shape of it is not, but it never had this many ports, and it also has a new material, new look. So it's just the actual shape of it that didn't change, but everything else about it did.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get. How much are they selling this for?
Right now, the one with M1 is, I think, $1,000.
$1,000? $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. They're probably gonna sell this for $2,000.
They're
my guess.
Sell this for about $1,200. That's right.
$1,200 for a Mac.
Next, we have the redesigned MacBook Air that will be coming soon, and this looks, you're like, what the heck is going on here? So let's get explained. Apple is developing a thinner and lighter version of the MacBook Air that will have thinner bezels than the current model. The bezels in the keyboard will be an off-white color, and the chassis will not have a wedge shape. So previously the MacBook Air was big, and then it got thinner as you got to the front. Now it'll just be a perfect size. The machine will feature mini LED display, MagSafe charging on the new MacBook Pros, USB-C ports for connecting external devices, but it will not have HDMI or SD card slots unlike the MacBook Pros. It will include a faster version of the M1 chip with the same number of computing cores as the M1, so 8. And the new Apple Silicon chip will support better graphics with 9 or 10 GPU cores instead of the 7 or 8 in the current M1 MacBook Air. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo expects the production to begin in the late second quarter or early third quarter, suggesting a launch sometime around August or September, while another leaker, Dylan DKT, has said the machine will come out in mid-2022. So we're not 100% sure. It could come out WWDC, it could come out in March, or they could wait till October to release this. Not entirely sure yet. But look at this. The new MacBook Pro has a black keyboard and a notch. So this is rumored to also get a notch, but white bezels instead of black bezels. 6 different colors. They have blue, space gray, purple, orange, yellow, green, pink, and a white keyboard. So this is supposed to be more of like a friendlier version. Just like for example, between the iMac Pro and the iMac, it's the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air is white, it's brighter, so is the M1 iMac. The iMac Pro and the MacBook Pro are darker, they're more power focused, they're more pro focused.
I have nothing to say to that.
Next, we have the iPad Pro. It's rumored to be refreshed in 2022 with the 11-inch model to get the same mini LED display that it currently has. They developed iPad Pro prototypes with a larger Apple logo made of glass, which would allow for wireless charging. One of the prototypes is said to feature MagSafe, MagSafe is wireless charging that has on the iPhone. So basically, you have that little circle puck that magnets to this circle here, and it attaches, and that's how it wirelessly charges. But the back is made out of glass. That's how it charges. It can't go through metal or aluminum. It can only go through glass. But the iPad Pro's back, like this one right here, which is the same design, is aluminum. So what they're thinking that they're going to do is they're going to put this, first of all, they're going to make it landscape friendly. So they're going to turn this Apple logo this way, because most people use the iPad this way, not this way. And they're also going to make, first they had a prototype where the whole back was glass. But that was misery in the testing because it cracked all the time and it was just horrible for an iPad. Instead, they're going to try and make the Apple logo bigger, so like maybe double the size of what it is right now, and make this shiny part glass, and then you can wirelessly charge. So that's interesting. It could, so like horizontal camera alignment that I said. There have been some rumors of it having an OLED display, a new Apple Pencil, and a titanium chassis, but not clear if that information will pan out. Next, iPhone SE Plus. Last time we saw the iPhone SE was updated in 2020 of March. It was actually our second episode on this channel. We discussed the brand new iPhone SE that was launched, so that's pretty cool. Now 2 years later, discussing the next gen. It will come on the first half of 2022, so definitely the March event. It will have the same size phone, nothing externally will change. It will look exactly 100% the same. The only thing that'll change is it's going to get a 5G processor with an A14 chip. Those are the two changes. Next, the iPad Air 5. Apple is planning to release a 5th gen iPad Air with similar features as the 6th gen iPad mini, including an A15 Bionic chip, 12 megapixel ultra-wide front camera with center stage support, 5G for cellular models, quad LED True Tone flash. According to Makatakara, the report also claims that the new iPad Air could be announced alongside the 3rd gen iPhone SE at the spring event in March of 2022. So it'll look exactly the same. Maybe they'll give a refresh on the colors. They definitely need to make the blue more saturated because it looks like a friggin' gray in real life. Then we have the WWDC 2022 event. The usuals, iOS 16, iPadOS 16. Now there haven't been much rumors, but there are slight rumors. Here is what to look forward to. At least one iPhone will have a hole punch display design, which we will get to in a little bit. It will require interface changes and updates to the area around the status bar, so that'll be changed in the UI. There will also rumors about car crash detection and emergency satellite features, which means when you're in like the middle of a forest or a jungle and you're hiking or something, there's no service. What if you fall, you break your leg, you get injured, you can't get up, you need to call 911. But there's no cell service in the middle of a friggin' forest that you're hiking. You can't call 911, you're screwed. But they're rumored to announce this new feature called Emergency Satellite, which basically connects to satellites instead of using local area towers in order for you to make a 911 emergency call, which is pretty useful. And then here's some mock-ups on some things that they may bring, which is cool and all and whatever.
Yeah.
WatchOS 9, we have no clue what to expect, but here's some mock-ups of fun designs that we think we want, and it's expected at WWDC. macOS 13, which has a lot of rumors. So, they're already working on this next system. Mammoth was a name trademarked by Apple back in 2013 alongside Monterey, which gave credence to what this year's update would be called, something that we guessed back correctly in June. So basically, they renewed these trademarks, Monterey and Mammoth. They've had these trademarks since 2013. Last year, we thought that it was going to be called either Monterey or Mammoth because these were the two existing trademarks that they currently have. Monterey was correct. This year, the last one that they have is Mammoth. So we're expecting it to be called macOS 13 Mammoth, which that's what Mammoth looks like. And it's basically, they're expecting to do another big redesign like they did in macOS Big Sur. So 9to5 Max, Parker Ortolani made a mock-up of it, and there's plenty to look at here with like an app library, widgets on the home screen, a launch pad, a new menu bar which has more rounded and more, like basically they're trying to bring the Mac and iPad closer together. They put Mac chips in the iPad and they put iPad software on the Mac. They're trying to bring them closer, and that's what I think that they would be trying to do here as well.
Second half of 2022?
Apple Watch Series 8. This is going to be an interesting one, and I'm hoping to purchase this one. According to
Why?
Because look at my watch. It's a Series 3. It's old. It needs an upgrade.
No, it doesn't. This is not good. It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. It's completely different. This is flat edges. So basically, according to the Wall Street Journal and other sources, Apple is developing several new health features. It could include blood pressure monitoring, a thermometer for fertility and sleep tracking, sleep apnea detection, and diabetes detection.
Oh, that's gonna be needed when we watch the Maple Leafs game. Blood pressure.
Yeah, blood pressure. The thing's gonna be like, your blood pressure is too high. Yeah, because the Leafs are holding a 3-1 lead, and I'm scared they're gonna blow it like they always do. Display analyst Ross Young has suggested the Apple Watch Series 8 could come in 3 sizes instead of 2, which would be new, joining the 41 and 45mm size options. Prior to the release of the Series 7, multiple rumors suggested they were working on a flat edge redesign, but that didn't happen, and everyone was shocked out of their mind. Now that's still not out of the question for the Series 8, and that's what I'm hoping, and not sure what's going to happen, but of course it will launch at the September event alongside the iPhone. 2 more Apple Watch rumors are the Apple Watch SE2. No new design changes are expected for this. We're just expected, there's not much that we know, but we're expecting a new version, maybe updated processor, updated screen, little things, blah blah blah, who cares. They're also rumored to be working on, which they've been rumored for a while, is a rugged Apple Watch model. So according to Bloomberg, Apple is working on a version of the Apple Watch with rugged casing that aims at athletes, hikers, and others who use the watch in more extreme conditions than day-to-day wear, so like when you're hiking or going through extreme conditions. It will feature the same functionalities as standard Apple Watch, but will improve impact resistance and protection, and it'll have some weird case design according to these mock-ups, rumored to launch alongside the Series 8. iPad 10th Gen, what do we know? Well, the same as always. The design never changes and they update the internals. One of the big changes present on the next gen iPad will likely be an upgraded Apple Silicon chipset. The current iPad sports the A13 Bionic, the same chipset present on the iPhone 11. Their next gen model is expected to be a jump to the A14 Bionic, not only present on the 12 but on the iPad Air 2. And then the iPhone 14, the star of the show.
The same iPhone again.
A big redesign this year.
What?
First, display. Last year we had the iPhone 13 mini, we had the iPhone 13, 13 Pro, and 13 Pro Max. Well, not this year. The iPhone mini is going to die this year. Rest in peace, iPhone mini, because it's not going to happen anymore. This year we're rumored to get a 6.1-inch iPhone 14, 6.1-inch iPhone 14 Pro, and then a 6.7-inch iPhone 14 Max, and a 6.7-inch iPhone 14 Pro Max. So basically they're going to replace the mini model with a Max model. That's what they're doing here. Ross Young also said that ProMotion will not be expanded to the entire iPhone 14 lineup and will remain exclusive to Pro models. Previous to this rumor, it was expected that it was going to go to the whole lineup ProMotion, but now they're saying it will not, which makes more sense. Chassis. They're going to resemble the design back to the iPhone 4, as you can see here. So it's going to have a titanium chassis for the material. One rumor says we could see a thicker body that allows for the elimination of this camera bump. So there's a bump here. This is a bump. This is the camera bump. The lens sticks out. They're rumored to make the phone a little bit thicker and make this completely flush with the phone like the iPhone 4. So as you can see in the renders, there's no bump there. That's completely flush. Then the eSIM rumor. So an anonymous tipster informed Mac Rumors that Apple has advised major US carriers to prepare for the launch of an eSIM-only smartphone by September of 2022. An eSIM is a digital SIM, if you're not sure what this is, that allows users to activate a cellular plan without having to use nano SIM cards. It's worth noting that eSIM service is not available in all countries, so the countries that don't have eSIM available, Apple will still make a SIM card slot. So it's basically the SIM card slot that you put your little SIM card to make your iPhone know what your phone number is and your data plan to work. That is going to go digital. You would just scan a code and enter some codes or whatever, and boom, you don't need a physical eSIM. Frees up a lot of space in the phone for them to work with. Then, A16 chip, 4nm process. That's what we're expecting. Camera, some extreme bumps here. 48 megapixels, so it's been a long time since the megapixels got upgraded. We're expecting a 48 megapixel on the wide lens, followed by a periscope lens in 2023, so the iPhone 15. He claimed that the 48 megapixel camera would be limited to the 14 Pro models and it would allow for 8K video recording, a first for the iPhone, up from 4K. These high-resolution 8K videos would be suitable for viewing on Apple's AR/VR headset. If you're wondering what that is, stay tuned because we will discuss that as well in this video. Kuo also previously claimed that the 14 Pro models may support both 48 megapixel and 12 megapixel output, which would likely be achieved by a process known as pixel binning. Okay. Next, the notch. Do you notice anything different?
Nope.
With that notch?
I don't.
The notch on the 10, 10R, and 11 and 12 all had a wide notch. Then the 13, they reduced the size of the notch by 20%.
So this year we'll see.
Finally, rumored to eliminate the notch. They will go notchless. The iPhone 14 models, so the 14 and 14 Max, will still have a notch like the 13 models, but the 14 Pro is rumored to get a pill-shaped cutout. So the display industry consultant Ross Young has claimed that the iPhone 14 Pro models will feature both hole punch and pill-shaped cutouts near the top of the display. Young said the hole is believed to be for the Face ID dot projector, while the pill-shaped cutout is supposedly for the front camera and Face ID and front camera at minimum. So basically, at first, this was the rumor, just a circle. Then it changed to a rumor of a pill shape. I'm like, okay, I didn't really like the circle that much. It was too resemblant of Samsung's circle punch.
And
then they changed the prototype to this pill, which I'm like, okay, no one's done this. This is actually some Apple original thing. It actually looks pretty good. This I would accept. But then this came up in the rumors based off this image. At first they thought that circle was just something internally and you wouldn't see it outside. But this is an actual physical display that they got scans of from the factories. So that's what we're expecting now. A pill and a circle. I don't like that. I mean, eventually it'll grow on me and it'll just say, yeah, I enjoy it. But like, I think
eventually it will grow on you. How about if you hate that? Let's go.
Next, entry-level MacBook Pro. As the MacBook Pro 14-inch is with its M1 Pro chip, not everyone needs that much power. The good news is that Apple is rumored to be releasing a replacement for the 13-inch MacBook Pro with an M2 chip sometime in 2022. I do need the power though, so I'd probably get the MacBook Pro. This prediction comes from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who reports that Apple is readying an entry-level MacBook Pro. We don't know anything about any of their specs or design yet. The M2 chip is tipped to have the same 8-core CPU as the M1 upgraded 10-core graphics processor, so maybe that's what they would put in the MacBook Air. We'd also anticipate an SD card slot, MagSafe charging, 1080p display, and that's just speculation for now, so nothing much to expect for now. Late 2022. This is what I was talking about for an AR/VR headset. This is something that we've never seen before, dating back to the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch was the last thing that they had unveiled as a completely new product line. First they had AirPods, then Apple Watch, now finally a new one more thing, and it's going to be the Apple AR/VR headset.
And seeing is believing.
So, Apple's been working on an augmented and virtual reality device for years now, and the first AR/VR headset is rumored to be launching at the end of 2022. Apple's AR/VR headset, are you ready for this? It's expected to be an expensive one, priced at around $3,000. That's USD, roughly 3,800 Canadian dollars.
That's expensive.
Yes.
I've never seen a headset that big.
Yeah. And the headset is said to look somewhat familiar to Facebook's Oculus Quest, which I'm sure a lot of you know. PSVR, Oculus Quest, all those, you put it on your head and you hold these controllers and you play virtual reality games. Well, Apple's rumored to create their own version of it.
I bet the controllers are going to be sold separately.
We'll see. It will look somewhat similar, and it will have a sleeker design that uses fabrics, lightweight materials for a comfortable fit. It will apparently feature 2 4K micro OLED displays from Sony, along with multiple sensors and more than a dozen cameras for mapping surfaces, edge, and dimensions of rooms, as well as tracking hand movements. Apple analyst Ming Chi Kuo said it will use 15 optical cameras. There's going to be 15 cameras in this thing. My iPad has 1 and my phone has 3. That's crazy. Another 6 used for biometrics, innovative biometrics, and 8 of them for augmented reality experiences. Apple is working on multiple control methods. They're including a thimble-like device worn on the finger, so some hand controller. The headset will be able to track eye movements and hand gestures. There could also be physical controls. Apple plans to create an app store for the headset, offering games, streaming video content, and more. So obviously, you're not just going to buy a headset to watch nothing. you're gonna want to play games. So the rumor to make a new ROS. So you have iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, now a new ROS. Reality.
Are they gonna have YouTube on VR?
Oh, who knows? But I mean, it's not that far-fetched. It's possible. Imagine watching VR virtual reality 3D YouTube. Imagine YouTube brings this new 3D experience and you can watch it on virtual. That's not impossible. That's very possible. So, a new report claims that Apple originally planned to launch the headset at 2021 and ship it this year. The company then set its sights on WWDC in June 2022 to launch the product, but is reportedly now unlikely due to a number of developing issues. So, this is my take on this. They set their sights on WWDC, which makes a lot of sense. WWDC, this is a new product line, which developers are going to need to make games for this. They're going to need to redesign their apps to make it work on this new device. So it makes sense to launch it at WWDC. As a one more thing, so ROS, announcing a new software system, announcing a new product that developers would have to work on, so that would make sense, and then they don't ship it to like a long time. Like for the Apple Watch, they did the same thing. They announced it at Dub so developers can start making apps for it, but they didn't launch it till like 7 or 8 months later. So the challenges they're facing is said to be with overheating issues as well as camera and software challenges. The device is rumored to feature 2 chips. Bloomberg believes that at least one of these chips will be on par with the M1 Pro. That's pretty powerful. Thermal demands of this chip are believed to be the cause of the overheating issues. Now, because of these problems, they're considering delaying the launch to the end of 2022 and then shipping in 2023, which is quite a while. But they're still pushing their vendors to have products ready earlier than that. I think their goal is to announce it at WWDC, which makes 100% sense, a lot of sense, but maybe either launch it like December, like they did with the Mac Pro. They announced it in WWDC and then they didn't release it till December, or wait till 2023. But I still think they should release it at
Dub.
Then the last one, AirPods Pro 2. They're working on a second gen of AirPods Pro that could feature a more compact design and a new wireless chip. And according to Bloomberg, they're going to make AirPods Pro smaller by eliminating the stem, so it's going to look like a little circular thing.
Little pickle.
No stem, just a little.
Looks like a little bullet.
Yeah, a lot of people have made, like, I don't know, Huawei, Samsung. They have lots of versions of this.
What is this?
Little circle that fits in your ear with.
This looks like a little pickle. Like what?
Like a little bean, like a bean.
This
looks like a bean that goes in your ear.
This small.
Picture AirPods with no stem.
Why?
Then, products with unknown release dates. Apple Display, they're working on an updated version of the Pro Display XDR because that thing costs $5,000.
So what they're gonna basically do is grab this and then just stretch it.
It's basically not gonna have any, like, it's not an operating system, it's not an iMac, so you cannot run macOS by just buying this display. This is strictly a display. So you can use this display with a Windows computer or any other computer because it's just a display, not a computer. It will be, they could be releasing 24, 27, and 32-inch options to the Pro Display XDR, and these options could come out at some point in 2022. Mark Gurman suggested he expects the pricing to be somewhere around the $2,500 USD.
$2,500 for not a working computer?
For just a monitor, which...
That's,
I mean, look at the Pro Display XDR. It's a $5,000 monitor.
No thanks.
You're spending... The Pro Display XDR is $5,000, which is this thing right here, but you still need to buy an additional computer to work with it. It's another computer.
No.
They're still working on, surprisingly, an Intel Mac Pro, which is going to be the same design as the 2019 one, but they're just going to put new Intel chips.
Now this looks like a cheese grater.
Because they basically want to make the transition to Apple Silicon smooth, so they want to still release another Intel Mac Pro.
This looks like a cheese grater. Why is it a cheese grater?
Next, the Apple Silicon Mac Pro, which John Prosser made renders of, and they're expected to have a complete redesign, like basically 3 or 4 Mac Minis stacked on top of each other. It's going to be a powerhouse, powerful than any Mac they've ever made. It's going to have 20 or 40 computing cores, that's pretty high, 16 or 32 high performance, and 4 or 8 high efficiency cores. These updated chips will also include 64 128 graphics cores, geez, and that's top of the line. And it would be several times faster than the graphics modules Apple uses from NVIDIA and AMD, which is some bold claims. And it could launch in 2022, but specific timeline is not known yet. Then we have foldable iPhone. It is not expected to be introduced until at least 2023, with 2024 being more the likely target. And rumors have died down recently of this product, but they're rumored to be using testing displays from Samsung, and Apple is working to make a foldable phone with an 8-inch flexible OLED display in 2023. Little is known, but it's basically like the Samsung Fold, but as an iPhone.
Apple Glass! Woo!
You've heard about this before. This is still rumored. No launch yet. A report in January of 2021 described the glasses as several years away, with the earliest is 2023. Rumor indicates that there are 2 projects in the works. One includes the glasses and one includes the headset. We already talked about the AR/VR headset that's launching this year, hopefully. The glasses are still far from being launched, and it's rumored to have these glasses. Imagine, they're going to be glasses, but they're going to have displays in them. Built-in cameras that map 3D environment scanning and advanced human detection, and a rumor to create an app store for this. So this is like, you put on the glasses and you can see your notifications in your eyes, text messages. It'll say, you'll have glasses on and it'll say incoming call, and it'll show on the glasses. This is like some James Bond type stuff, Mission Impossible. Apple car, lots of people have heard about this.
Woo!
So basically this car is going to be fully autonomous, no driver, no gas or brake pedals, no steering wheel, no nothing. No driver required. So the laws don't allow this to be on the road, but who knows, things could change. There's still lots of work going to this. They have to partner with a car company. First they thought of Hyundai, but we're not exactly sure who. But they have to partner with a car company that has experience. That is it.
Thank you very much for watching, and
that is all the Apple 2022 rumors and predictions that we're expecting. You can check the slideshow out. It will be periodically updated on my website. The link is in the description down below. And that was quite a long one because there's lots of products we can't wait. Maybe we'll be unboxing some of these, and it's going to be a long road ahead. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to pull the classic thing that we haven't done in a long time. How long has it been since we used this thing? How long has it been since we used this damn thing?
Okay, if you want to like, comment, subscribe, and if you can please keep that notification bell on, that would be fantastic.
I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you for the next one.